It's me, Mario!
Hey, I've done this game before. Am I doing something strange? Have you already figured out what I'm doing? Thanks to the title? Well, guess what? This is actually not Super Mario 64. As you saw in the background, this is something called Super Mario 74. And immediately, really weird, glitchy, go through the walls camera. Some great things to come. And so, if you can't tell, talking to the stove will explain some things. Bowser kidnapped Peach again. And he stole even more stars. Why? Greatest reason ever, there are stars in the toilet. Who knew? He says it would be a good idea to talk to the 5 info toads. Good luck with all the stuff you do. This is a Super Mario 64 hack by Luck Miller. Apparently it's not the most special one. There's been more special ones like new enemies, new patterns, stuff like that. But it's a very, very full one with 150 stars. Good grief. And this has actually been a very good hack. I've already played through it before, and this toad actually gives you some good information about the camera. Apparently this guy, like most people who play Super Mario 64, hates it like K2. So, yeah. A lot of people like to use the zoom out Mario perspective, where if you just start out like this, if you press R, you get it close, and then if you press C down, you get the zoom out. It's actually a pretty good camera angle, but to be honest, I'm usually fond with just a regular camera. It's not bad. And so, you could talk to these guys, but most of them just give you some general tips and stuff. Not very useful. And if you go in here, first course, Ice Fortress. And you're gonna be doing with that thing every time. So let's just wall jump. Not wall jump, long jump over here. This sign tells you how to wall jump if you don't know, but pretty much you just go to a wall and press A as soon as you hit it. Yeah, let me just say this. I'm not gonna explain the basics of Mario 64. This is more for people who've already played it and want a challenging run of it.
Here we go!
This is definitely the game for you then. So, yeah, I'm gonna be getting all 50 stars, as you might have guessed. And I love these messages here because I guess like Miller couldn't control them, so he just added some funny stuff this year. Please don't feel special. You can change pretty much nothing at all. Hooray! They are great. Oh yeah, you can also do some weird glitching with entering the world boxes. And, alright, second star. Second star isn't really hard. All you have to do is gotta kind of go over here, and you see this? Well, a lot like in the other Super Mario 64 hack I played, Kaizo Mario 64, then it makes, there's a lot of block stuff here. And allow me to first get rid of this enemy so that it doesn't annoy me. You're gonna have to be used to doing this, holding A and pressing B to go up slopes. Y'all might have seen this if y'all saw my quick attempt, but if you haven't seen it before, well, that's it. So the pillars aren't very hard. As soon as I say they aren't very hard, immediately fall off. So, as I was saying, the pillars aren't hard, you just gotta mostly triple jump to get higher. There's probably something else you can do, but I always use triple jumps. And yes, you will need the wing cap, but for now we can just enjoy this simple little box that contains a star. Also, a trick you should know to get getting these stars and boxes quicker, just jump up to zoom, and then ground pound in the middle of the jump, and you should just, like, be in the middle of the box when it comes down and instantly get it, like, so, see?
Here we go!
It's a very interesting trick that I was actually even able to do in Super Mario 64 DS. In case you're wondering why I won't do Kaizo Mario 64, it's because that game requires a crap load of save states. And also because I usually don't try and get the... I can't record on Project 64, that's a story. I was trying to figure out a way to well, you can't get star 3, but you can get another star. I'll have to figure out which one it is later. So I'll just show off getting that star while I explain my recording setup. I have HyperCam recording my audio because I can't figure out how to work Open 64's audio. It even has that option. So I have that. And then I have to put the commentary on. I have to put the Abby recording commentary onto virtual dub and turn it into a WAV file with double the sound volume because for some reason my voice is too quiet otherwise. Don't know why. And Project 64 is too laggy with HyperCam in case you're wondering. And I decided to go with this very complicated recording setup that I just described. Then someone else saw that and I thought, hey, that looks good. And of course I missed it. Yeah, some people are usually good enough at this game. I'm not really that good, but I decided I can play this game well enough, so I should at least show off how to get all the stars, because that was something I desperately needed. I actually even used the walkthrough to let Miller made. Very nice of him to do that.
Here we go!
And because of that, I was actually able to complete this game. Because starting at World 11, the game starts getting crap loads harder. I mean, I was able to figure out everything up until that point. 3 stars, it's not much, but, well, it's not much. Oh, thanks! Something interesting about Lug Miller is that he's actually German, so this hack was originally in German.
Go!
I guess that was star 6 I got. Oh well. Still can't get that star, so I'm just gonna get the 100 coin star as well as the 8 red coins. Why? Because I feel like it. Also because it makes the most sense because, you know, red coins counts 2 stars and all that stuff. So, here comes the collecting and probably long pauses of me not saying anything at all because collecting coins is kind of boring. I probably will speed up the later ones, but since I'm still exploring everywhere, it would be best for me to just actually showing off everything I do. Yeah, red coins in this game are kind of like the red coins in Kaiser Mario. They can have some really devious hiding places. I mean, really devious. Thankfully, though, Kaiser Mario 64 is not cheap. This game only starts getting really cheap in much later levels. Even then, some of those things aren't bad. Oh yeah, camera angle here. You'll want to zoom out and go back to Lakitu perspective. You're in water, otherwise the camera will freak out like you saw it did there. Zooming out's usually a good thing too, but I just tend to do it because I'm due with the concentrating. Figuring out where all these coins are. Here's a few more. Yeah, this game is gonna make me show off a lot of interesting tricks, but I really like the game. It's very close to Super Mario 64 without being near a complete rip-off like Cosmo Mario 64 was, just made more difficult. Kinda ruins your memories of the game. But this actually enhances it. This is actually made like a real game. Like, I know there was supposed to be a planned Super Mario 64 2 for the Nintendo 64 DD or whatever that non-existent console is called. But that, as you know, was never released to the public, and we just got Super Mario Sunshine instead, which I haven't played, but I think is actually pretty fun, even though it's very different from the other games. So, you know, if this was actually the sequel that was planned, then I would have enjoyed it. I would have thought, man, they did a good job with this. In case you're wondering how I'm so sure of everything, oh yeah, when you go into places like this, you usually want to zoom in and zoom out until you get it fixed. Because the camera really likes to freak out in those kind of places. Alright, finally got the camera fixed. Now then, there's 2 ways to get over to there. You can, well, 3 ways if you're really good at doing the third one. 1, you can use the blocks. 2, you can just long jump over and take a little bit of damage. Or 3, you can do like this. I call that long kick or something like that. It's just instead of CA and B is CB. Pretty useful at times, but not used a lot. And then you can dive, but I've never really gotten that to work, so I'll just do the second method. The third method's used mainly because it prevents you from taking damage. I wonder if I'm gonna get every coin in this level now that I think about it. There's the 8th red coin, and yes, in case you're wondering, I did do a practice run of this because the first time I ever tried recording the gameplay for this, I was doing flat out miserable. Now it's sounding pretty flat out miserable. Oh, and remember how I kept on saying that this game's gonna get harder? Well, I'm not taking that back, it will. But I'm gonna try my best not to abuse save states and, you know, make this a lot easier. There are some places where I pretty much will have to, or else you're gonna have to see me die about 5,000 times. But I'm gonna try my best to not use save states. That was actually trying to figure out how to work this third thing anyway. Oh, well, I didn't get every coin, but I don't think you can anyway until you get the flying cap. Because you can't get two stars in this game without the flying cap. So let's just leave and we're back here. Hooray! Now I'm gonna do one more thing real quick since I can't get any more stars in there. I'm gonna go to the top of the tower. Yeah, this is Skyward slopes. He likes alliteration just as much as Nintendo does. It's actually... these levels are kind of like based off of the original Super Mario 64 levels up to a certain point. Here's the title screen music now that I think about it. In case you're wondering why I'm moving 64 can't record game audio, that's beyond... can't record my commentary. They can record game audio just fine. But beyond that, nothing. So let's just climb to the top of this bell tower and get this star.
Here we go!
That's gonna be all I'm gonna do for today, so... Alright, turns out I've actually had a lot of time on my hands than I thought. I'm gonna do a 20-minute segment like I did you know, what I'm trying to do now. And looking for get the red coins for now. I actually would rather explore and show off some of the other stars. The main thing with this game is that, you know, the levels are fairly large, and what you're trying to do is, if you've never played this game before, then you're not gonna know where to go. And trust me, some of the much later stars in the game will definitely make me think that. And I died. Yay.
Mamma mia!
This game can be very glitchy sometimes with the, like, exits and entering. Especially that dead sequence you saw there. Alright, so let's retry getting that star. I'm not even sure which star I was going for, but... let's just retry that again. That was pathetic. Seriously. Alright, so... we could talk about other LPers of this game. I'm not really sure there's a lot of other LPers of this game. And that's why I definitely want to do it while this game is still fairly new and people are just starting to record it. Because it's, you know, Super Mario 64 is out for years, and I was hoping for some kind of thing that, like I eventually did. And lo and behold, I did make it, so didn't have to worry much about that anymore. In case you're wondering where the idea for my including the times came in, that was actually something a little bit more. I mean, Chugga Conroy definitely did give me the idea. Yes, I mentioned another LP here. Slap me now. This is why I said you want to kick up slopes. Because there's a lot of slopes in the game like that. And, okay, I didn't die. Because, you know, not dying is always a good thing. Guess I might as well go over to the other side of this fairly large fortress. And, yeah, another LP I could mention is Big funny thing is he's not getting every star on camera. He's actually just showing off where all the stars are and then going from there pretty much. Just getting all the coins on, just kind of exploring the level, not really doing the levels like I am. I can understand his position because there's a lot of intrigue and exiting these levels whenever most of the stars are just kind of out in the open. You don't have to worry much about stuff like that. So, worry about stuff like, you know, it's not so hard to get to. And the thing is, apparently he hasn't played through the whole game, which I definitely will think will be interesting whenever he starts doing the later levels that, as I've described to you already, definitely some of the hard ones. And, yeah, there's a lot of secrets back here, like this one. A lot of hidden stars like that. Especially in the bonus levels, but that's a whole other topic. So, there's that one. So many stars. You are really slow. 2 more stars and you can open the first star. Hooray! And if you're wondering where I've heard of this game from Mickey Barnes, but the main reason I was able to play was because I found out some, you know, patches and stuff. My goodness, I feel bad for y'all because for me to figure out how to patch this thing took so long, but it was well worth it in the end, as you can tell by how happy I am. Wow. Trying to do a shortcut and I end up not being able to do it well. I'm gonna go to place for you to download all this stuff and everything you're gonna need. We're gonna need like 7 programs to be able to do all this. And, well, flotation technology blocks. That is true. Why are all the blocks always floating? I mean, you would think that logic would make you think, oh crap, these things they can go down eventually. Nope, they just kind of stay up there. Alright. Amazingly enough, since I've had some practice in this game, I'm able to do these things a lot quicker. And I might try and speed this up. I'm not even really sure how to use Windows Live Movie Maker to make stuff set up though. That is actually one thing I could talk about. Somebody said that I don't do a lot of like heavy editing. I mean like heavy editing. Like some of the top LPers do. I'm not gonna mention names because y'all should probably know. And it's because, and you know, one person asked me on my FAQ that a lot of people ask me questions on is why don't I do some of the heavier, you know, stuff like that. Mainly because I don't know how to do it. I mean, they usually have some high-tech stuff like Sony Vegas. Like that. My sister actually has Vegas. I know it costs money. And since I'm a cheap person living in a cheap family, that's no-go. That plus I'd rather not make this something that, you know, actually starts to cost me a lot of money. I'd rather keep it on the simple, I just do this as a hobby kind of thing. Thankfully, Launch Fortress wasn't hard in the beginning, so this level kind of reflects that. It's just, you're still trying to get your feet wet pretty much with this game in general. Oh jeez, I hope I don't die on this. Oh, that was close. I'll admit. And this guy can go down. I really like Shy Guys. Alright, so let's just get up here. Let's just get up here. Can I get up here? Alright, I can. Oh, the blue coin switch. That's kind of dangerous, actually. Blue coins appear all throughout there, and kind of dangerous to get. Because this place is so close to the edge, and once you fall off the edge, you know what that means. That's right, death. So happy, isn't it? I sound like I have a little bit of a cold, which I don't. I'm just really stuffy because turns out I'm allergic to stuff. Didn't know I was allergic to stuff till I went to an allergy clinic. Which, well, good thing those things aren't instant death like they are in Galaxy. Speaking of Galaxy, though, I really don't like Galaxy 2's like the one that kind of sends you back in time. Y'all should know what I'm talking about, right? No, I thought so. Oh, my coins are precariously close to the edge. Like the 7th one's just right over here. Can't quite remember where the last one is, but I should be able to find it. And what do? I miss. And I might wait on getting that thing, because I'd rather not get the 100 coin store in a place where I can't get it. Which would be in between a rock and a hard place. And you know what movie I'm referencing? That you probably laughed at that part too. It was a visual joke, but if you could understand the joke, you would realize just how funny it was. And where's that 8th red coin? No, it's here somewhere. No. Well, there it is. And with this, I get to do something cool. 2 stars activated at once. It confuses your head.
Here we go!
So, yeah, thanks to practice, I was able to get this down to, like, I literally nearly 2 worlds in one video. And with that, I guess that should be more than the video. I mean, I've recorded probably 8 more minutes of stuff just doing that. So,